Are you an artist with a dream? Are you somebody sat there every night just daydreaming about, oh, I've just got this really good idea for a thing, and if only I can make it happen. How can I make it happen? I can make it happen, not little old me. Well, let me tell you something that somebody, my fairy godmother, once told me. If you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention, kid. My name's Luisa. You might know me from that one time I was on live at the Apollo at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday about 8 years ago. It's not nice when you do it in the face like that, is it? You might know me from my stand-up comedy special, which was also at 11:30 p.m. on a random Thursday, also about 7 or 8 years ago. I got cellulite to the back of my knees, to the back of my knees! But I love cellulite. Oh, I love cellulite. I see an orange in a fruit bowl, I get a wide on. You might know me from a thigh gap video where I took my trousers down, showed everybody my beautiful thighs, and people laughed hysterically with my blonde hair. Oh my God, that's so humiliating! My thighs are touching each other. Send me away to the circus, call it freak show bitch whose thighs are touching each other. You might know me from these very, very few things, or you might know me from being at the bottom of a basement where your feet stick to the floor in comedy clubs in the UK doing stand-up, which is something that I've been doing for the last 17 years officially, but 20 technically. But then I stopped for a bit. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to tell you. I thought you might be interested in how I make a musical. I'm going to cut in a thing here like diddle-a-diddle-a-da, so I've been doing stand-up for ages, and I've got one-on-one shows that I love doing. And one-on-one shows taught me, I started in a room of a pub in Edinburgh, the Free Fringe Edinburgh. And I didn't have an agent, didn't have a manager. Still, all these years later, the exact same boat, just a slightly bigger boat. Didn't have those things, but really believed in this idea of a story that I wanted to share. And audiences seemed to really like it. And so I went on the Free Fringe to Edinburgh Fringe Festival back in 2012, where there was a room above a pub, and I put on a show called What Would Beyonce Do? And people at the time were like, this isn't stand-up comedy, this isn't. And it then became called the Stand-Up Hit the Decade, and a culture-defining, genre-defining stand-up comedy show all of its own. So my shows have had cultural impact, right? I know they have. I've seen that. They're beautiful. Like, I love them. They're so delicious. And so when I found myself in my 40s being like, I don't know how I'm going to pay next month's rent, and I don't know how I'm going to keep doing this, and I don't know why every year feels like such a struggle to be like, and next, and next, and next. What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? And I do find there's this discrepancy between certain types of artists. We're talking about men that can be good once and then can coast for decades on that. And there's other artists that you have to prove yourself again and again and again, and you have to be exceptional each year, year in, year out. And I would say that's true with a lot of female artists, but a lot of women in many industries, actually, I would argue that's the case. The problem with that is when you are unsupported by an infrastructure, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to tiredness, and you're not going to feel very creative when you're burnt out and tired. And with creative people, the thing that literally sets our soul on fire and our hearts on fire is the opportunity to be creative. So a couple of years ago, I found myself burnt out and tired, and I was like, I put my best work, got a BAFTA breakthrough. I still feel like I'm square one. I don't know what to do. And I stripped it all back. Went all back. And I was like, go back to what you know, go back to play, go back to joy. And so I booked myself at the Free Fringe in Edinburgh 2 years ago. Having played all the different types of rooms, all the different sizes, I booked a stand-up show at the Monkey Barrel, and then I booked a Free Fringe show for a concept show. It was a fun idea, which is called God is a Woman, the Musical. And it's a one-woman show all about Mary Magdalene, and it's my pitch for a musical. I want you to imagine the female Book of Mormon. Now, this story came to me because I was at a time in my life where I was like, I've been misaligned. It doesn't matter how hard I work, you're set on misunderstanding me. And then I read the story of Mary Magdalene, and I was like, guys, this is the oldest trick in the book. This is what they do. Don't you understand? This is what happens to women with a voice. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So then it became so easy to write, and it became so easy to feel creative and write the show about Mary Magdalene. And the premise is, how different would the world look if the Bible was translated by women? Now, this is a show and a premise that I really, really believe in, and so much so that I took it to Edinburgh and I had a couple of musical production companies come to see the show, and they were like, "We really like this, it's got a huge promise. Where's your team?" And I was like, "You're my team." And they were like, "No, where's your team?" And I was like, "Don't you mean you? You're my team?" And they were like, "No, where's your team?" Because normally when you pitch a musical, you have a composer, you have a dramaturg, you have writers, you have dance people, you have everything. And I was like, "It's just me with a dream." And they were like, "Cool, you need a team." And so then I'm in England feeling stuck. So I'm like, but I have this really good idea. Normally people have the pitch. Normally people have a whole team and they have the pitch. They don't have the content. They have the idea for the thing. They don't have the content. And then you try and get it made. I'm working backwards. I'm like, no, I've got the thing. I've got the thing in between. Like I've got the middle. I've got the core. I just don't have everything else. So I was like, right, how do you do this? How do you make this happen? And Luisa, this is your Christmas future from the editing world. Most musicals are funded by, actually the majority is very, very wealthy men, and between 80 to 90% of musicals that get made don't make a profit, which is why we often see very similar safe stories. It's also interesting that a few of the things that have broken through in the last few years is when somebody has taken a risk. So if things have always been done in a certain way, you're always going to get the same thing. If we want to hear different stories, we've got to be willing to get them made. And how do we get things made in a different way? Growing up, I loved like Dirty Dancing, Pretty Woman, Rocky, and Rocky specifically, Sylvester Stallone, it doesn't matter how many times you get.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Exactly. So I was like, well, what can I do? What can I do? You either quit and be like, you win, I'm out, which would make me terribly sad and it'll be a travesty, or you pivot. And so what I did is I pivoted. And so last year I sold all my belongings. I rented out my place and I brought my Bernese Mountain dog on a plane with me to America. This was just before the election. It was great timing. And I flew out in coach. Bernie flew out on a private jet with my sister. They were very happy. And I came out with about £40,000 to be like, right, I'm going to do an Edinburgh in America. I'm going to build and they will come. I'm just going to build and they will come. If I have a good show, I know by the end of this run, I can have people talking about it, people excited about it, and then audiences will see a show that's killer, that they love, that they identify with, that's going to make them lose their tiny little minds. That's what I'm going to do. And I started in Austin, Texas, because Austin, Texas has a really cool comedy culture at the moment. Like comedy is booming in Austin, Texas. Now, some of it is brilliant and incredible, and some of it is dog poo. There's a lot of young men out there doing comedy, and it's very bro podcast incel headquarters. And so you're fighting with a lot of that because it's a new scene. So it's very dog eat dog. It's not like in the UK where we have a etiquette for each other. It's very dog eat dog out there in Austin. And I was like, and people were like, why are you going to Austin? Like, you're going to Texas to do a show about Mary Magdalene, and you're going to go there and you'll do all your like feminist shit when there's loads of incels. And I was like, yes, because this is how the arts. Because what better place for me to develop a show about the most slut-shamed woman in history than in incel headquarters? It's genius. So I spent about 6 months there developing the show. I rented out a place and I lived off the money that I had in my savings. And we are now currently in May. And as you can imagine, those savings have dwindled. Goodbye, savings, goodbye. And I have paid June's rent, and that's all I've got. That's it until somebody wants to sponsor this video. Doors. Don't you need one? And so I developed the show in Austin, and I initially looked for a little theatre that was like it had to be an LGBTQ friendly theatre that were interested in like alternative, quirky kind of works. Because I was like, it's not a stand up show, it's not a theatre show, it's just like this idea for a musical, but it's pitching a musical, but I can't sing and I can't play music. And I found this theatre called Coal Town Theatre, and it's a little theatre that's an improv theatre. And I put on the show whenever they had a night free. And so one night I'd be on a Monday, one night I'd be on a Wednesday, one night I'd be on a Sunday, different times, different things. And what I really wanted was a residency, the chance to do the show, same time, same place, so that I can grow it. And after 6 months in Austin, several people were like, you need to take the show somewhere else. So now I'm at a place, I found myself in February with this script that I have in hand. This is $1 million script. This is my $1 million script, guys, I'm telling you. And it's been help putting to a script because I don't know how to format scripts. I don't know what I'm doing formatting. Pippa Evans is my dramaturg, and I hired her to help me, and she literally was like, let's make it look like a musical script. So that's what we've done. And now I've got this killer script, and I want to get it seen. And the option was go to New York or LA. I looked at New York, and I went to rent a place and to rent a home for me and B. And they were like, we need 4,500 times your earnings. And then my friend in LA was like, or you could just stay at my spare room. So I was like, LA it is. So I came out to LA, had a little theatre that was putting on the show. They were going to watch it with the potential to put it on for a run. They watched it. They liked it. They were like, I'm not sure it's for us just yet, but keep working on it. Let's see what you do with it. And now I'm currently in May. I'm in a sublet. I moved out. I've got a place here with me and B. And a few weeks ago, I was able to secure a residency at one of the coolest alternative venues here in Los Angeles, the Elysian Theatre. And in July, I will have God is a Woman the Musical on every Tuesday at 7 o'clock every Tuesday for 5 weeks. When I tell you, I'm over the fucking moon. This is everything that I've worked towards. But what's happened is I came out with savings. I've got July for the run, and I run out in June. So I just need to make the next stretch. So what I started this week, because it's the 29th of May, is an 8-week spaghetti wall plan where I literally throw shit at a wall. I tried to go to a comedy club and do stand-up and get booked for that. And they said, we loved you. We could put you on in any room. But at the moment, we're prioritizing people that have got a huge social media following because they sell tickets. So I'm like, right, spaghetti wall it is. So I thought you just might like to join me and be here. And I thought this will be another spaghetti. This will be some spaghetti. I'll do a 10-minute video of my story of coming out here, trying to put on a musical. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this. Let me know if you'd like to see how do I write it, how do I set it up, how do you write a song. I can't sing. Let me know what aspect of this that you're interested in. But I just thought financially, I just thought to let you know, I haven't got any money. I sold everything. I sold my car and let Kim do this. And I've run out. And it's next month. But I've just got to hold on to that residency because I really, truly believe 5 weeks. I think by show 3, 4, 5, I think it's going to be popping. I think people are going to love it. And that's what I want them to. And then I'm hoping I will find the right people that go, we see what you're trying to do. Let's help you get this made. So if you'd like to help me get this made, like, follow, subscribe. Let me know if you like this spaghetti. This is very specifically for YouTube and no other social media platform. But YouTube, only for YouTube. Thank you very much. It's 11.5 minutes long, which is fine because it's going to be 10. But why be 10 when you can be 12? What long-winded? I know. This is as short as I could keep it. God is on the Musical, my one-woman show all about Mary Magdalene. And how different the world would be if the Bible was translated by women. It's really funny. Like, it's not like this video. Like, it's really funny. It's got loads of jokes. Like, at every page, like every 2 lines, it's like gag. So if you're like, be like a big nerd for jokes, you're gonna be like, over it. Honestly. Thank you for watching. More coming soon.